we have to recall the 7-year struggle to bring this hospital to Hardin County. It was in the spring of 1947, and Mr. James Hartledge, who was then the president of the Elizabethtown Lions Club, was returning from a trip which took him through Campbellsville, Kentucky. And on his way through, he couldn't help but notice that this tiny community had this tiny hospital, that they had a hospital. So a few nights later, he told his fellow Lions Club members what he had seen and how he had thought about it over the next few days. Following Mr. Hartledge's spark, the 52-member club got behind the idea and began to campaign for what would be needed, a $400,000 bond issue to help pay for a hospital. The club certainly faced a lot of obstacles. It was a conservative community. Most felt that the community couldn't afford a hospital, and some felt that we didn't need one. They were used to going to Louisville for emergency care and surgery, and when warranted, the doctors in our community still made house calls. So to build the hospital, the county needed to raise $400,000 and get a 5-to-4 federal grant, matching grant of $500,000, and that would mean about a 15-cent tax on each $100 of assessed property for the people, the landowners of the county. Well, the club got started. They wrote letters, they made phone calls, they went door to door to convince the citizens of the need of a local hospital. Speeches were made on the radio. They went to every club there was. They even went into the schools and got the support of the schools and the students and the communities across the county. Well, after all this rhetoric and rallying, election day came and the bond issue went. The voters defeated the issue 2,281 to 2,202. But the Lions didn't give up. Over the next 4 years, they charged ahead again. This time, they were joined by a lot of other civic organizations and a lot of supportive citizens. People who supported it the first time around only became stronger, and some of the most staunch opponents were now the strongest supporters. So in 1953, the club was once again successful in getting a bond issue back on the ballot. This time, a whopping 78% of the voters backed the issue, passing at 3,711 to 1,026 votes. Folks, the rest is history. So today, we pause to celebrate. And we also pause to express deep, deep appreciation and say thank you again to the Elizabethtown Lions Club for their vision and determination, making it possible for us to be celebrating 60 years today. Once the building was constructed and we had a facility, when the ladies came forward to make it look nice, the Elizabethtown Women's Club, which actively supported the drive for a hospital, moved forward to be of assistance in any way that was possible for them. The club minutes of early 1954 reflect a call for volunteers to help make draperies and express gratitude to those who had already volunteered to help. An invitation was also extended to members who might be of assistance in making preparations to help out for the grand opening in 1954. A community service project selected for the year 1954-55 was to complete the landscaping at the hospital. The initial project was planning of the circular island in the front of the hospital entrance and the large flower boxes on either side of the main doors. And if you look at the building in the back, the architectural rendering, you can actually see the drawings of the flower boxes and, of course, the circular there. The community project for the 55-56 was the community project that they accepted then for the next year, 55-56, was actually the continuation of the hospital planning started the previous year. The late Mrs. Allen Craddock, who was the president of the club at that time, shared with me this project many, many times and expressed how delighted they were and how much they believed in the hospital and how it was funded over the 2 years. They hosted card parties, style shows, and then accepted contributions. But the most successful fundraiser was the selling of Betty Crocker cake mix. And for every box they sold, the club made 10 cents. Well, those ladies sold 9,000 boxes of Betty Crocker cake mix and made $900. She shared with me that over the next few years, the men around the community did not want to ever taste a cake. And the women said they couldn't even stand to look at the cake mix box. But we are indeed appreciative of the many hours of work and the funds dedicated toward this hospital.
We are trying to exceed the physical, the emotional, and the spiritual needs of patients, families, physicians, and each other. Everybody walking in 913 North Dixie or any of our almost 50 locations throughout 10 counties, we want to exceed that care every single time.